Good morning, folks. We are leaving Yunxiao. I've been using booking.com pretty primarily to find my way around. And here, let me turn the camera forward. And this time, the phone number was correct, but the hotel address was off by like 2 kilometers. It was crazy. So I ended up flagging down a couple that were looking at the trike, wondering what the hell I was doing, and I asked them to help me, and they ended up calling the place and winding through the streets, and then we ended up finding the place, and it was like in a back alley. And on the booking.com thing, it was saying that it was only 80 RMB, which is like $12 US, which is a great deal. But when I got there, they're like, "Can you cancel that booking because it's 200? I said, 200? You gotta be kidding me. And I said, how about 100? I said, whatever. Anyways, it cost about 15 bucks. The room was quite nice, actually. And I did some work. I didn't leave the room. I went in after I ate some food and locked myself inside. And I didn't come out until right now. I have a feeling roads will be like this today. And it's 6:30 in the morning. I didn't know geese had a gullet? No, what is that? What is that called? Gobble gobble? Interesting breed of goose. "74 kilometers down, 40 some to go." Boring day, I guess. Just standard stuff. There's a lot of shrimp farms and fish farms, I think, and goose farms and all sorts of stuff as I cruise down the highway. I am listening to a really long podcast by Dan Carlin, the Hardcore History Show. It's very interesting. It's talking about Japanese history from their beginnings before they kind of got teeth and started sinking their teeth into you know, trying out imperialism. And I've lived in China for a long time, so I know that there's a animosity and a hatred and an anger towards the Japanese, and rightly so, based on historical, you know, happenings. I mean, the Japanese were brutal. There are a lot of brutal governments out there, and Japan hasn't been brutal in that aspect for a very long time. So, but it's very interesting to see somebody discuss the very beginnings and the steps that it's taken in order for Japan to have the history that it's had. It's kind of curious. The historian was talking about how when Japan was isolationist, like they didn't want to really do business with the rest of the world. They were kind of walled off from the rest of the global society. I think an American expedition kind of pushed in and said, "We are going to make you part of the global community and a trading partner, whether you like it or not." Japan sort of sent delegations out into the world under this new sort of threat, this new idea that, hey, we better fit in. But before we try to model ourselves as an international powerhouse, let's go out and see what else other people do.
and they sent like these Japanese delegations all throughout the world, and you know, they said, bring back whatever anybody does best, you know? Who does the military best? Who does government best? Who does, you know, manufacturing best and capitalism best? And then bring back those things and we'll infuse them into our culture. And so instead of, the historian says, instead of being the chum in the water, we'll be the shark, you know? If people do come in, they won't be taken over, which is a long-sighted approach. It's not that stupid, but they got, their eyes got a little bit bigger than their mouths, and I think obviously they bit off more than they could chew. Anyways, riding around through these Chinese roads, I always enjoy picking a topic and learning as much as I can. I can look outside and see some cool surroundings, but also kind of sink within myself and kind of learn. This form of travel for me is really good. I have sort of I have a very weird personality, and I think it lends itself really well to this lifestyle. I don't like staying in one place too long. I get antsy. I don't like doing the same thing too long. That gets me frustrated and bored and looking outward. And sometimes self-destructive. What this lifestyle allows me to do is be almost in a new place every day, meeting new people, interacting with new things, and the vlogs themselves, what an amazing project that is. It's like obviously it's the same vehicle, but I mean, I can put my camera in front of a new thing or a new idea, recording a new subject, telling a new story every single day, and it keeps things very fresh. There's no monotony. I mean, there's a monotony of making a video every day, but that video can change, you know? It's unlike most jobs in the world where you're going to the same building and doing relatively the same thing every day. So this is actually a really great lifestyle for me to live. I'm a lucky guy. Anyways, days like today might get a little monotonous though. Long streets, heavy trucks, but you know, it'll just make the days that have more things going on a little bit more exciting. Saw a sign for Guangdong, so we'll be in Guangdong soon, which will mean that Shenzhen is close approaching. And then I'm just planning to go to Hong Kong quick. I'm not planning to stay there long. I need to get my visa for Vietnam and Laos, and then head off on my way. I will tell you one thing, for the next few weeks, up until I get to the site of my car accident where I got run over by the truck in Guangning, this section of the tour is sort of recycled. I haven't ridden this road, but I was riding a road way inland. I took a sort of a unique path down here when I did this originally in 2014, I think. This is a little bit different, but it also is, it's the same latitude, you know? I've seen a lot of these landscapes. I've been to this part of the world. It'll be really nice once I pass up Guangning, headed towards Guilin, and then hit Guilin and then head south. And it'll be really interesting once I get to Vietnam. Vietnam is going to be a whole different animal, in my opinion. Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, all of these places I think are going to be wholly different from Southeast Asia, in particular Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. I'm really interested to sink my teeth into an area like that part of the world. Just 5 more kilometers to go. I'm on a crosswalk here. I wanted to show you the drop-off. Not exactly wheelchair friendly. You see that? Those horns on those trucks are ear-piercingly loud. If you're next to one of those trucks when they make that horn sound, your ears will be ringing for about 30 seconds at least. Well, we're in Shantou, and I'm very close to the hotel, just a couple of kilometers. Hello. Hello. There's a Starbucks that's near the hotel.
Hello.
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 And so I'm gonna go to the hotel, clean up, and then go to the Starbucks and see if I can upload some of the videos I've finished that are waiting on my computer to upload. Good stuff. Bye bye. I went from like relaxing rural to busy city very quickly. Inception moment. He's taking a picture of me, taking a picture of him, taking a picture of me. What's it all mean? Oh, there was an accident. In China, if you get into an accident, you can't pull to the side. You have to stop exactly where it happened, even if that spot is in the middle of the street. Hello. Alright guys, I am in Shantou. When I let Annie know that I was in Shantou, she said, "You really need to have some beef there." I was settling into the hotel, ready to work on some of my videos, but she said, "You gotta try the beef." So we're gonna jump on a bus, head over to the other side of town, and we're gonna get some of that Shantou beef that I've just learned so much about. Jayoe. Nice bus. This is like a charter bus, not like a normal city transit bus. Annie was telling me, be careful, don't put your backpack on your back. Shantou is known for thievery. So when I was in the bus, she sent me a few messages. Do you see anybody with bags? I told you there's not going to be a lot of people with bags. There's like 10 people with bags around me. What about outside walking in the street? A whole bunch of people with bags. Ah, 谢谢。好。 Typically, you come to a place like this with your buddies and eat with your friends, not just one guy. Annie actually recommended this place because she spends a lot of time here. She actually deals with a few factories here in her personal business. One of the factories manufactures toys, and she's asking him if he can show me around tomorrow. I might stay here another day if that turns out to be the case. So tomorrow might be an interesting day. Cooking anything in a water broth is going to leave you kind of wanting as far as taste goes. That's why most of these Hotpot style places, you have all sorts of different dipping sauces. Here I have like a beef mix sauce. I have just a pile of garlic. I love my garlic. And I have peanut sauce mixed with chunky peanuts. You combine them all, do a little dip combination, and you can really get a good tasting flavor.
Next time on the Jayoe vlog.
All right, our first stop, a toy factory making musical guitars. You go to Toys R Us, you go somewhere in the world looking for toys. There's probably a pretty big chance that your toy came from Shantou.
This soup here tastes a lot like pho.
Holy moly, very good.